Section 1. When you feel invisible. There are moments when it feels like you've disappeared. Not physically, but emotionally, relationally, quietly. No one checks in. No one asks how you are really doing. No one notices the effort it took just to show up today. No one sees the silent endurance, the restraint, the discipline, the tears you held back. You show up, you try, you keep going, you fulfill responsibilities, you meet expectations, you carry weight without announcing it, and still, it feels unnoticed. Like your consistency is assumed, like your sacrifice is invisible, like your presence is expected but not valued. There is a unique ache in feeling unseen, a loneliness that can sit in a crowded room, a quiet question that whispers, "Does anyone see me? Does any of this matter?" But heaven does not overlook what earth ignores. God does not measure visibility by applause. He does not measure value by recognition. He sees the effort no one clapped for. He sees the patience no one praised. He sees the integrity no one rewarded. He sees the quiet obedience no one noticed. Not one moment of silent faithfulness escapes him. Not one unseen sacrifice is wasted. Not one hidden tear goes unrecorded. You may feel invisible to people, but you are never invisible to God. He sees the heart behind the action, the motive behind the service, the strength behind the smile, the endurance behind the silence. Even when you feel overlooked, you are observed with care. Even when you feel forgotten, you are remembered in detail. Even when you feel small, you are deeply known. Tonight, release the need for human recognition. Release the ache of being unseen. Release the pressure to prove your worth. Heaven sees you, fully, tenderly, constantly. And what feels unnoticed is not unnoticed above. So breathe slowly. Let that truth settle. You are not invisible. You are seen, and that is enough. Section 2. I have engraved you. Behold, I have graven thee upon the palms of my hands. Isaiah 49:16. Listen carefully to that promise, not written in sand, not penciled lightly, not temporarily noted, engraved. God does not merely remember you, He engraved you. Permanent, intentional, personal. Engraving takes effort. It is deliberate. It leaves a mark. It is not erased easily. When God says He has engraved you upon the palms of His hands, He is speaking of permanence, of closeness, of unforgettability. You are not a passing thought in His mind, not an afterthought, not a seasonal concern. You are not remembered only when you pray loudly. You are not recalled only when you perform well. You are engraved, marked, held in view. Every time hands move, they are seen. Every action involves them. To be engraved upon His hands means you are never out of sight, never out of awareness, never out of care. Even when you feel invisible to others, you are permanently present to Him. Even when your name is not spoken in rooms, it is etched in heaven. Even when your effort goes unnoticed on earth, it is not unnoticed in eternity. Engraving is not accidental. It is chosen. God chose to mark you, to carry your name, to keep you before Him. That is intimacy. That is intentional love. There is no distance that removes you, no silence that erases you, no season that hides you from His view. You are engraved, not fading, not temporary, not overlooked, permanent. Tonight, when the feeling of invisibility tries to rise, return to this image, your name on His hands, held there, carried there, seen there. You are not forgotten. You are not misplaced. You are not overlooked. You are engraved, and that means you are never out of sight. So breathe slowly. Let the permanence of that truth settle. You are known. You are remembered. You are marked by love. Section 3. Forgotten by people, not by God. People forget. They forget promises made in emotion. They forget loyalty shown in quiet seasons. They forget kindness that cost you something. They forget the effort you gave without complaint. They forget the late nights, the unseen sacrifices, the small, faithful choices. Human memory is fragile. Attention shifts. Priorities change. Gratitude fades. And sometimes that forgetting hurts. It can feel like erasure, like your presence did not matter, like your faithfulness went unnoticed, like your loyalty was invisible. But God does not forget, not accidentally, not gradually, not ever. If doors closed, He saw it. If conversations ended without explanation, He heard them. If your effort was unrecognized, He recorded it. If your kindness was overlooked, He witnessed it. If your heart broke quietly, He counted every tear. Not one, not some, every tear. Heaven keeps perfect memory, not in bitterness, not in scorekeeping, but in justice, in care, in awareness. There is no moment that slips past Him, no sacrifice that goes unseen, no faithful act that is wasted. When Joseph was forgotten in prison, God remembered. When David was overlooked in the field, God saw. When Hagar felt invisible in the wilderness, God revealed Himself as the one who sees. El Roi, the God who sees. You may be forgotten by people, but you are not forgotten by God. You may be overlooked in rooms, but you are not overlooked in heaven. You may be dismissed in conversation, but you are not dismissed in eternity. His memory is perfect. His awareness is constant. His attention is unwavering. Tonight, release the sting of being forgotten by people. Release the ache of unrecognized faithfulness. Release the need for human validation. You are seen, fully, carefully, lovingly. Heaven remembers what earth forgets, and nothing in your life is wasted. So breathe slowly. Let the hurt soften. Let the truth settle. You are not forgotten. Not now. Not ever. Section 4. Your name is known. Scripture says God calls His own by name, not generally, not vaguely, not collectively, by name, not by number, not by category, not by label, not by your mistakes, not by your past, not by how others define you, by name. There is something powerful about being called by name. It means you are recognized, distinguished, identified, chosen. Crowds may blur together, but names are specific, personal, intentional. You are not the forgotten one. You are not the overlooked one. You are not the quiet one. You are not the extra one. You are not reduced to a role or a reputation. You are known, intimately, personally, fully. God does not confuse your story with someone else's. He does not misplace your prayers. He does not overlook your presence. He knows the sound of your voice. He knows the pattern of your thoughts. He knows your strengths. He knows your weaknesses. He knows what makes you anxious. He knows what brings you joy. He knows the parts of you that others never see. And still, He calls you by name. When Jesus spoke to Mary outside the empty tomb, He said her name. And in that moment, recognition replaced despair. When He called Zacchaeus down from the tree, He said his name. When He restored Peter, He spoke directly to him. God's calling is personal, not generic, not distant, personal. You are not lost in a crowd. You are not blended into a category. You are not overlooked in a system. You are known. Tonight, let that truth settle deeply. You do not need to prove your visibility. You do not need to earn recognition. You are already known. By name, by heart, by history, by future. Intimately, personally, fully. So breathe slowly. Release the label others may have placed on you. Release the fear of being unseen. You are not anonymous in heaven. You are called. You are remembered. You are known. And that is enough. Section 5. Silence is not absence. Sometimes heaven feels quiet. You pray, and the words seem to rise into stillness. You wait, and nothing appears to shift. You look for signs, and see none. Prayers seem unanswered. Waiting feels long, Movement feels slow. And in that quiet, a question forms. Is God still here? But silence is not absence. Quiet is not abandonment. Stillness is not withdrawal. God works in ways that are not always loud, not always dramatic, not always immediate. Some of his most faithful work happens beneath the surface. Roots grow in silence, deep, unseen, strengthening what will later support visible fruit. Foundations form unseen. Concrete is poured underground long before walls are raised. No applause, no recognition, but essential. Just because you do not hear him does not mean he has left. Just because you do not see movement does not mean nothing is happening. Just because you feel stillness does not mean he is still. He may be strengthening you quietly, aligning circumstances slowly, protecting you silently, preparing something you cannot yet perceive. Silence tests trust, not because God enjoys distance, but because trust deepens when sight is limited. The sun still shines even when clouds cover it. The earth still turns even when you cannot feel it. God is still working even when you cannot sense him. He has not stepped away. He has not forgotten you. He has not lost interest in your story. He is faithful in the quiet, faithful in the waiting, faithful in the unseen. Tonight, release the fear that silence means separation. Release the anxiety that quiet means neglect. Let the stillness become sacred. Let the waiting become formative. Let the silence become a place of trust. He has not left. He has not withdrawn. He has not disappeared. He is working in ways you cannot yet hear. So breathe slowly. Lean into the quiet. Trust the unseen work. Silence is not absence, and you are not alone. Section 6. Delays do not mean discarded. If you feel behind, if you feel paused, if you feel bypassed, that does not mean abandoned. It may feel like others are moving, advancing, being chosen, being seen, and you remain waiting. But waiting is not the same as being discarded. A pause is not proof of rejection. A delay is not evidence of neglect. God's timing is not forgetfulness, it is precision. He does not overlook people, he does not misplace names, he does not lose track of promises, he does not forget where he positioned you. If something feels delayed, it may be because he is aligning more than you can see. Aligning character, aligning opportunity, aligning people, aligning timing. A surgeon does not rush a careful procedure. An architect does not hurry a foundational structure. Precision takes intention, and God is precise. He does not misplace people, he positions them. Joseph was delayed in prison, but positioned for leadership. David was hidden in fields, but positioned for a throne. Esther was placed in obscurity before being positioned for influence. Their delay was not dismissal, it was development. If you feel paused, you may be positioned. If you feel behind, you may be prepared. If you feel bypassed, you may be protected. Protection does not always look like progress. Positioning does not always look like promotion, but both are purposeful. Tonight, release the belief that delay equals disqualification. Release the fear that you have been forgotten. Release the thought that others moving means you are losing. God is not careless with your life. He is intentional, strategic, precise. He does not discard, he designs. He does not forget, he positions. And when the time comes, what he has prepared will meet you exactly where you stand. So breathe slowly. Let impatience soften. Let comparison quiet. Let trust rise. Delays do not mean discarded. They mean deliberate. And you are not forgotten. Section 7. You matter more than you know. You matter more than you know. Not just in visible ways, not just in measurable outcomes, but in quiet ways you cannot always see. You matter in conversations you thought were small, in kindness you thought went unnoticed, in prayers you whispered alone. You matter in ways you cannot measure. Your obedience matters. The times you chose integrity when compromise was easier. The times you told the truth when silence would have protected you. The times you followed God quietly without applause. Your quiet faithfulness matters. The routine, the discipline, the showing up when no one was watching. The consistency when recognition was absent. Your unseen perseverance matters. The days you wanted to quit but kept going. The moments you felt tired but remained steady. The seasons you felt invisible but stayed faithful. Nothing done in love is wasted. Not one small act. Not one gentle word. Not one hidden sacrifice. Love always leaves a mark, even if it is unseen for a while. Nothing endured in faith is ignored. Not the waiting, not the restraint, not the endurance, not the obedience in obscurity. Heaven notices what the world overlooks. The world celebrates loud success. Heaven celebrates faithful hearts. The world measures influence by numbers. Heaven measures influence by love. The world values visibility. Heaven values faithfulness. You may not see the impact of your life right now. You may not feel the weight of your quiet obedience, but God does. He sees the ripple effect. He sees the seeds planted. He sees the unseen fruit forming. Your life is not small. Your faith is not insignificant. Your consistency is not invisible. You matter deeply, personally, eternally. Tonight, release the belief that your impact must be loud. Release the fear that you are unnoticed. Release the doubt that your obedience is pointless. It is not. Heaven keeps record. Heaven honors faithfulness. Heaven sees you, and you matter more than you know. So breathe slowly. Let that truth settle. Your life counts. Your faith counts. Your love counts. And none of it is wasted. Section 8. When loneliness speaks. Loneliness has a voice. It whispers quietly, often at night, often in stillness, often when distractions fade. It says, "You don't matter. You're replaceable. You've been forgotten." It exaggerates distance, it magnifies silence, it distorts reality. Loneliness can sit in a crowded room. It can linger after conversations end. It can follow you even when people surround you. It does not always mean you are physically alone. It means you feel unseen, unnoticed, unheld. But feelings are not always facts. Loneliness is a feeling. Being known by God is a fact. Feelings shift. Truth remains. When loneliness says, "You don't matter," truth declares, "You are chosen." Not randomly, not reluctantly. Chosen. When loneliness says, "You're replaceable," truth declares, "You are seen," specifically, personally. When loneliness says, "You've been forgotten," truth declares, "You are remembered," by name, by heart, by promise. Loneliness can be loud, but it is not authoritative. It can be persuasive, but it is not ultimate. God's truth outweighs your feelings. You may feel isolated, but you are not abandoned. You may feel unnoticed, but you are not unseen. You may feel forgotten, but you are engraved. Loneliness says, "No one knows." Truth says, "He knows." Loneliness says, "No one cares." Truth says, "He cares deeply." Loneliness says, "You are alone." Truth says, "I am with you." Tonight, acknowledge the feeling. Do not deny it. Do not shame yourself for it. But do not let it define you. Let truth speak louder. You are chosen. You are seen. You are remembered. Loneliness is a feeling. Being known by God is a fact. And facts are stronger than feelings. So breathe slowly. Let the whispers fade. Let truth settle deeply. You are not alone. Not now, not ever. Section 9. Reflection. Where have you felt overlooked? Now, slow down. Let this become personal. Ask yourself gently, where have I felt unseen? In what space did I feel invisible? At work? In family? In friendships? In ministry? In a room where no one noticed how much it cost you to show up? Where have I questioned my worth? Where did comparison whisper? Where did silence feel like rejection? Where did recognition never come? Do not rush the answer. Let it surface. There is a place that still feels tender, a moment that still feels overlooked. Now, imagine God speaking your name, not loudly, not publicly, not dramatically, but tenderly, with familiarity, with care, with certainty. The way a father speaks to someone he knows completely. Hear him say your name, not rushed, not distant, not distracted, but close, intentional, present. He knows your history, every chapter, every hidden detail, every quiet struggle. He knows your thoughts, the ones you share, the ones you never say out loud. He knows your fears, the subtle ones, the deep ones, the ones you try to outrun. He knows your potential, not just who you are now, but who you are becoming. He sees the whole picture. You are not hidden from him, not your doubts, not your questions, not your weariness, not your longing to be seen. Nothing about you is overlooked. Nothing about you is misunderstood. Nothing about you is dismissed. Even the place where you felt invisible, he was there. Even the moment you felt forgotten, he was watching. Even the question about your worth, he already answered it. With love, with presence, with permanence. Tonight, let his voice be louder than the memory of being overlooked. Let his knowing heal the ache of invisibility. You are not hidden. You are not unknown. You are not forgotten. You are seen, fully, tenderly, completely. So breathe slowly. Let your heart soften. He knows your name, and you are never out of his sight. Section 10. Closing Prayer. Father, when we feel invisible, remind us we are engraved, not loosely remembered, not faintly recalled, but permanently marked by your love. When we feel forgotten, remind us we are remembered, not occasionally, not conditionally, but constantly. When we feel overlooked, remind us heaven still calls our name, not as a number, not as a category, but personally, intimately, with tenderness. Comfort the lonely. Meet them in the quiet rooms, in the long nights, in the silent spaces where no one else hears their thoughts. Strengthen the weary, the ones who keep showing up, the ones who keep trying, the ones who are tired but still faithful. Restore the discouraged, lift the heaviness that settled in their chest, breathe hope into places that feel dim. And tonight, as we rest, quiet every lie that says we do not matter. Quiet the voice that says we are replaceable. Quiet the whisper that says we are unseen. Let your truth speak louder. Let it sink deeper. Let it steady our hearts. We are known by name, by history, by heart. We are seen in our effort, in our endurance, in our quiet faithfulness. We are not forgotten, not by heaven, not by you, not for a single moment. As we sleep, wrap us in that certainty. Let peace guard our thoughts. Let comfort hold our hearts. Let truth outlast our feelings. We are engraved. We are remembered. We are loved. And we rest in that love. In Jesus' name, Amen. Deuteronomy 31:6. He will not leave you, nor forsake you. Deuteronomy 31:8. The Lord Himself goes before you. He will be with you. He will never leave you, nor forsake you. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged. Psalm 68, 5-6. Father to the fatherless, defender of widows, this is God, whose dwelling is holy. God places the lonely in families. He sets the prisoners free and fills them with joy. Psalm 105, TPT. For the Lord is always good, always ready to receive you. He is so loving, it will amaze you. So kind, it will astonish you. He is famous for His faithfulness toward all. Our God can be trusted, for He keeps His promises to every generation. Psalm 100, 3:17. But Lord, your endless love stretches from one eternity to the other, unbroken, unrelenting, towards those who fear you and bow in awe before you. Your faithfulness to keep every gracious promise you have made passes from parents to children to grandchildren and beyond.